All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get into this one. What is good? What is good? What is good? Of course, you know who I be. Good Doc, Dr. Mike TV back again, once again, about to drop some jewels and some knowledge to all of my foreigners out there right now with Filipino family or Filipino relatives about how you can become the mob boss of your own Philippine family. Now, first time to the channel, guys, y'all make sure y'all get the like, subscribe, notify, do all the good things to make yourself well-versed in the good dots content. Everything you need to know about me, extracurricular activities included, shall be linked in the description area. Somewhere down there. Okay? So, I want to talk about myself for a second. I know that sounds vain, but work with me. I want to talk about myself for a second. I've been with my young lady for quite some time. I think me and my young lady were together for about 4 months before I first met her family. Her dad was working abroad in Canada, but her mom was in a smaller provincial area, probably about a 5 to 6 hour, close to 8 hour ride from Davao to where they lived at in a small little province in Surigao del Sur. Big love to all of my people out there in Mangagoy. I've always had a problem pronouncing that name, but this league area, if you're in that area, big love to you guys. But me and my young lady were dating for about, from the month of August to the first time I met her family was the Christmas after we met. So we started dating in August and then Christmas. So what, 4 months? First time I ever met the family. When I met the family, I'm not going to lie, going into somebody else's house, I'm nervous, right? Because after a while, you're on P's and Q's, man. This ain't your house. This is somebody else's house, you dig? So who am I to walk around and act like I own shit around here when I don't own shit? You know what I mean? So I kind of just stayed out the way, stayed in my room for the most part. The only time I ever really came out of the room where we were sleeping at was when me and my young lady were together. And this was probably the first time. My girl looked at me dead ass in the face, and I shit you not. She said, look, he said, you're a guest in this house right now. But the second time you come here, you family. If you need some shit, go get your shit, okay? You want something out the refrigerator, go get it. And over time, that really did, you start to develop this comfortability, right? You start to realize that this is now your family. I mean, technically, we weren't married or anything like that yet, but technically, this was my family. This was going to be who I was going to basically marry into, and this was what I was likely to inherit as me marrying her, making her wifey and everything. So what you'll start to realize for all of you guys who are dating Filipinas and dating and meeting the families and stuff like that, you'll soon start to get the idea that you can either become the mob boss of that Philippine family, or you could become the mob bitch of that Filipino family. What do I mean by that? You can either take charge and take control when finances and things come up, or you can allow them to take advantage of you at every single turn, give them money as they ask, help them put up businesses as they ask, give money for colleges as they ask, become your wife's bitch. And every time she asks for money, which is normally the connector between you and the family, whenever she asks, you just give it and all that stuff. You can become the mob boss or the mob bitch, okay? Remember that, of the Philippine family. Now, here's ways that I've learned over time that if you really want to become the mob boss of your Philippine family, it starts by taking control. I'm not asking you to go above and beyond. I'm not asking you to yeet anybody or or send somebody swimming with the fishes. But what I am asking you to do is to sit down with the family and see what's really going on. I believe that if financial help is what is needed with your significant other in that situation, you have got to have the conversation with the family. Y'all got to sit around the table. You sit at the head, wifey right next to you, mother, father, whoever the heads of the household are. We're going to sit at the table and we're going to have this conversation, because what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to figure out what money is going to be leaving out of your pocket. All right. A lot of y'all will say, well, I don't believe in supporting the family. But let me detail this out just a little bit so that you understand, or at least pick up what I'm putting down. All right. When I say becoming the mob boss instead of the mob bitch of your family, of your new Filipino family, here's what you're going to do. Once people start to outline the finances and situations that they're going through, it's your job to provide jobs for these people to earn the money that you're potentially going to give. Okay, this isn't no free ride, ladies and gentlemen. This ain't no free pass. This isn't just, oh, the young lady married a foreigner and the foreigner just go give all the money away and he's just gonna take care of us for life. Nah, motherfucker, y'all gonna earn that money. For real, for real. Because if you do not put your foot down in the beginning, you do not have these conversations in the beginning and at least know what finances you're going to be looking at, probably on a monthly basis. And again, Philippine pesos is not really that bad from a monthly expense, but you've got to start categorizing and putting things together so that you can start creating jobs for these people to fulfill for you. Okay? So if household A, we'll just say young lady's family, let's say somebody needs to go to school. Okay. And this is one thing. This is just some examples I'm giving you guys. I mean, there will be different things that you'll probably detail along with whatever. But for me, let's say so you're paying for one of the relatives to go, not relatives, but maybe like a younger sister or a sibling to go to school. Let's say that your money is going to contribute to that child going to school. First of all, the money is directly going to that child's school. It should not go through the hands of whoever to make sure that something gets paid. And if it does, and it has to because you find yourself abroad, you need to put that in the hands of a trusted person to make sure that money is going directly to that education. Now, when it comes to you paying for a school or you paying for somebody's education, what you need to do right then is you need to say, look, if your grades slip, if you ain't making A's and B's, I'm gonna stop paying. All right. So now you're setting the precedent. You're setting the rule. No different than if that child was put on a scholarship. If they're not performing academically like they should or performing whatever sport at a high level as they should, you're going to lose your scholarship, right? So if you're not performing like I need you to, and you agree to the terms that I'm putting out for me to send you to go to school, then I'm no longer going to pay for you. I'll let you go through the semester, first semester, A's and B's. That's my expectation. If you get a C on there, okay, now you on probation. You understand? So you got to start setting precedents. You know what I mean? Got to start setting these rules for yourself and for the family so that you become the mob boss and not the mob bitch. Okay. And I'm telling you this to be important because a lot of you guys, like myself, you don't have a problem supporting the family. Some people will say, oh, that's bullshit. That's some simp shit. You want some bullshit? No. It's only simp shit if you allow them to take advantage of you and you become the mob bitch. But when you become the mob boss, you start setting terms and things like that to make sure that these contracts are fulfilled for the money that you're putting out as opposed to just giving money away. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you this. Then you're going to start to realize, I can really turn this shit around. And guess what happens? Let's say a couple years down the line, she gets, like, if she's going to a school that just to give her a certification, or she's going to a 4-year college, maybe she's getting her nursing degree, she passed that test, now she's put into a nursing job, hopefully, things start to roll in that particular direction. Guess what? Now there's that additional income coming in, and I'm telling you right now, how you choose to play that is up to you. But I would say, look, baby girl got this new income coming in. So now she's going to be a contributing factor to this Filipino mob boss type family that we've created. So some of that money, you're going to have to figure out how to work that in and what that money is going to be utilized for. If you do not take a cut, and I'm not telling you to do that because, again, Philippine salary is not a lot or anything like that. But if you're not going to take a cut, what you need to do is you need to say, look, part of your salary needs to go to this. Okay, so now you're starting to create this network, ladies and gentlemen. This is how we become mob bosses of our own Filipino families. Again, supporting Filipino households to an extent, guys, is not expensive. If you're making pretty good money in the United States or whatever foreign country you're in, trust me, the supporting of a Filipino family and a household is really not as expensive as a lot of people will think. But do not let it get out of hand, because I'm telling you, just because it may not be expensive through the currency exchange rate, what's going to tend to happen is those bills are going to add up, and that could be where things start to really get out of hand. So you want to make sure you control that. You want to make sure you control expenses, just like any other business, ladies and gentlemen. Just like any other business, you got to make sure you control expenses. Love that. All right. Now let's say, for example, you got your Pookie and the Ray Ray types of cousins. We know we're not going to support them, but if Pookie and Ray Ray need a job, maybe they could be a driver. You find shit for them to do, clean up around the house for you, because most of them are pretty handy with the tools. Get the house cleaned up, make sure the yard stay manicured or whatever it may be, so they earn the money that you give. All right. When you make them earn it, It's a little bit different than just giving it to them. So even if they don't have any productive skills where you think that they can actually earn high value, at least give them something to make them earn their keep around the family. Not everybody is going to have the intellectuality in the family. Not everybody is going to be that. You need to have your hitmen, your henchmen, you know, your ride or dies, you know, what do you call them? The horses. Like if you're playing chess, the motherfuckers that are going to go out there, take the bullet for you. Got to have them too. Those are the types that are going to be following along that line. You know what I'm saying? You'll just use them to run your quick errands for you and shit like that. You know, cut them a little bit, not necessarily a salary, but every now and again, when you need them, you use them, throw them a couple bucks every now and again, just to make them earn their keep. Because guess what's going to happen? They're going to start coming to you, and you'll start to realize this. In the Philippines, they love to call you boss all day long. They say boss, 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 biggity boss, boss. They're going to start calling you boss. And it sounds funny, but trust me, you'll see if you've been there long enough, you know the terminology and the fact that they do use that word quite often. So they're going to come to you, you know, boss, you need me to do anything for you? Do you need me to take care of something for you? You need me to go do this? You need me to go do that? So now they're in a position where they're like, okay, I can earn my keep now. So guess what? That connection, you're going to start to build it, guys. I'm telling you, if you want to become the boss of your own Filipino family, that's where it starts. Having the conversation, seeing what needs to be dealt with, and seeing how you can take the money that you're given to make it into your own network. Because I'm telling you, eventually, even if you try to start a little business or something like that, you know, you got to be careful who you put in certain roles. But even if you choose to opt to start a little business for yourself, maybe you put a little resort up or something. I'm not saying that you're going to do that, but you'll find ways to hire the family or hire people to take care of that, people that you trust or people that you know you have access to. That's the one thing that is important. People you have access to should shit go wrong. People you can not necessarily blame, but people you can contact just in case you need to figure out what's going on, why this is the way that it is, because they're all family. You understand? And you know where everybody is at every given moment in time when you need to know where they are. Okay? Trust me. Filipino networks are amazing. I hate to talk about this, but I'm gonna leave you with this particular talking point before I leave. But throughout my experiences in Davao City, I've been able to create a network for myself of individuals that have genuinely been intricate to some of the background success that the doc has had with other types of ventures outside of YouTube and things like that. I've been able to connect myself with good people who own their own restaurants, people who own their own businesses. You know, I've got a group of friends that quite honestly are amazing. Like, I look up to these people more than they would ever know because they're doing things and they're making things happen. You feel me? So the way that I see it is like this. When you start to build and connect and network, you start to build your own family. All right. And everybody has a role to play. Understand that everybody in the family has a role to play. And as long as you outline and dictate what those roles are, as long as you maintain and sustain, not necessarily the control, but the position of being able to make the decisions as needed, I promise you this, you will be the mob boss and not the mob bitch of your Filipino family. And that has been the PSA for today, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you were able to pick up what I was putting down. With that being said, Good Doc is officially out. At least nako paalam, which means I am going now. Bye-bye. As always, love you guys. Sincerely do. Mahal kita. Mabuhay. Peace.